Hey, what's up? In this video, I'm going to share my daily success routine. I do this every single day to put me in the best state of mind, mentally, the best state physically, and maybe even emotionally, okay? A lot of people ask me, hey Ben, why do you do what you do? Or specifically, what is your routine all day? So if you've been following me on Instagram, I document what I do every single day, but if you don't know who I am, this might help you. So okay, let's just dive right into it. Before I do, make sure you hit subscribe and follow me because I've got a lot of great self-development stuff. I'm just as big in self-development as I am in sales. They go together, all right? You can't really have one without the other. So if you look at all the old school sales gurus like Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins at one point, those guys all got started in sales and then eventually they moved into self-development. Anyway, it's one of my true, original passions. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna walk you through what I do hour by hour. So, first things first, I wake up at 2:40 a.m. every single day. Now, why the heck would I do that? This video is maybe not so much going into the why. I'll give you a little bit. I made another video that I'll post around here somewhere. But first things first, I'm up at 2:40. I get up, I go, film my day. I start documenting my day just so I can show other people that I do it. That's part of it. But the other thing is when I get up at 2:40, it starts to build up a win for me, right? A lot of people, they think 2:40, that's crazy. Who does that? Mark Wahlberg or some other crazy people? Who are you, David Goggins? But no, I get a sense of validation internally because it's a hard thing. It's a very hard thing to do. And I just wake up and I go, oh, hell yeah, another day of waking up at 2:40. Another, day that I'm proving to myself that I can do something hard, right? So I get up 2:40, go wash my face, drink some water. Actually, this is just a quick hint on how I actually started waking up early. I have a bottle of water in my fridge. It's ice cold, obviously. I chug that first thing in the morning and that wakes me up. And then I make some green tea. I have my journal. This is the second thing I do after brushing my teeth. I have a journal. And in the journal, I'm only writing down things that I did yesterday that I regret. These things were not in alignment with the person I want to be, the vision I have for my life, the purpose of my life. So it could be something I said, it could be something I did or did not do. It could be something maybe it was just bad energy that I said to somebody. I was like, you know what, I shouldn't have said, I shouldn't have punched that guy out in the lineup at Starbucks. I just needed a green tea that bad. No, it's always little things now. When I first started, it was, I got wasted. I spent $400 last night at the bar. I'm an idiot. I crashed my electric scooter. I hurt my wrist. I hooked up with this chick. I don't even remember what her name was. It was big stuff. And over time, it's bundled down into very little minute things. And without going a ton into why I do that, that is the second thing I do. So third thing I do is I do 100 burpees in one set. One day I just started doing burpees in the morning. I would do maybe 10, and then I started pushing it. I did 15, and then I was like, this isn't too bad. And then I challenged myself. I was like, I wonder if I could do 50 in one set because I was getting winded. I was like, my cardio is horrible. So I did 50 in one set, and I was like, oh, that wasn't even too bad. The next day I did 100, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I just decided to never not do 100 burpees in one set. It's just crazy. And actually, I pushed it up as high as 250 burpees in one set. Funny enough, I also do Duolingo every morning. I'm learning Spanish. On the 250th day of my streak, I do Duolingo right after my burpees, by the way. But the 250th day of my streak, I did 250 burpees. That's how I remember. The next thing I do is I eat my first meal. I used to do this thing of, what do you call it? Intermittent fasting. When I was working on Cole Gordon's team, I literally would not eat until 4 p.m., 5 p.m. And I found that my actual energy levels didn't really fluctuate, so that was good. But my body composition, I was way skinny fat. And it wasn't ideal. So what I do now is I track my macros because, I go to the gym every day, basically. And macros are huge for just your overall energy, your body composition, how you feel. If you're just eating random shit, the very first thing you need to do is track your macros. I don't care what you do. If you're not even working out, you should still be doing it. You can get in really great shape just by eating the right foods. So I have my first meal for an hour at 3:30, I do my Duolingo. At 4, between 3:30 to 4, usually I read a little book, maybe just enough to get like a nugget or two in my mind. From 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I typically send out DMs. I start messaging people, or I shoot some content for the day, or I write down some posts. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you go to my Instagram, every single reel that I made, I made 2 reels every single day without missing for over a year now. Every single reel, I have a very long caption, and I sit there, and sometimes it takes me a whole hour to write those. And so I do that from 4 to 5. At 5, I go to the gym. Usually from 5 to 7, I'm at the gym. I typically hit the sauna, do a bit of cardio. By the time I'm done, which is around 7 or 8, my calls don't start until 10 a.m. So I typically take sales calls from 10, although I have one tomorrow at 8 a.m. But from 10 a.m. all the way until about 5 or 6 p.m., which is kind of a long time. But I like to make my morning, I think of it like compressing myself, like a spring. So if I make my morning the hardest part of my day, and by the time it's time to perform on a sales call, or a coaching call, I still do a lot of coaching. By the time it's time to like give that energy to other people, I'm like ready. There's no way that I'm not ready. So my mood's good. I've been up for hours. I basically have been up for a full day before my work day starts. Like most people have not been up, which is interesting. But when I compress myself, that allows me to release that energy, kind of like a spring, through the working hours. And I would consider my working hours from 10 until probably 5, maybe 6. And so during that time, I just do what I have to do. I try to stay busy. I work in little work sprints, so I'll take a sales call. If I'm done, let's say early, like at the 30-minute mark or the 40-minute mark, I'll usually like bang out some push-ups, some burpees, or I'll just do something that's kind of mindless. I'll go make some food. I typically take maybe 6 to 7 sales calls a day, plus the sales team meeting on top of that. And so like that doesn't leave a ton of time for cooking, but I just cram it in there. And when it comes to the macros, basically what you do is you figure out what your macros are, and then you just divide them up. I like to divide them up into 5 even kind of like meals, so that way I find like my blood sugar doesn't dip and go all crazy and I get all tired, which was happening at one point. I was cutting way down. I was like under 10% body fat, if you must know. I know you didn't ask, but I was under 10, and when I was that low, I was eating like 50 grams of carbs a day, which was like, it was like 1,400 calories, which is like very low. I was like dying. So I was like, I'm only gonna eat like 10 grams of carbs this meal, and it was like painful as hell. But anyway, the food's a really big piece to your mental alertness and everything. It's so important that you have your food dialed. But so yeah, a lot of people ask me, like, Ben, how much do you sleep? Like, what time do you go to bed? And typically I go to bed at like 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock, and then back up again at 2:40. And a lot of people think that it's like, oh, well, like that doesn't leave much time for social life. It doesn't leave much time for, doing all this other stuff. And they're right, it really doesn't. I'm not saying that it's like a permanent thing. I'm gonna live like this forever. It's really a season, right? Like I might go back to waking up, sleeping in. I might go back to sleeping in until 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, right? I worked my way down from 5 a.m. to 4:30, and then to 4, and then to 3:30, and then I just decided, one day I'm gonna do 2:40. Fuck it. I just go by feeling, right? Most of this is created by feeling, right? I feel better when I do this. I sat down one day and I said, do I feel better when I go out and drink all night? Or do I feel better when I wake up early, hit the gym, and I'm fucking fresh? I'm just, by the time I'm on sales calls, I'm just ready to crush it. Do I feel better? Which one do I feel better? Well, I feel way better when I do this one, right? So many times when we're coming up with our routines, we look at what other people are doing and we ignore our internal compass, our sense of, well-being. Your body, your conscience, whatever you believe in, God maybe, your higher self, it's constantly guiding you to do what you should be doing to put yourself in the best state. And I don't care what you do, who you are, there is nobody that cannot benefit from getting in better shape, from waking up earlier, from eating better foods, from journaling and reflecting on their day, from training, right? Training your mind. So reading books or going through sales training or listening to your calls and doing all this stuff. Creating content. I usually create content actually after the gym too. So usually between 8 to 10 a.m. I create my videos because I'm pumped up from the gym. Like that's when I'm at my best state to deliver content. Right now it's actually kind of late. So, I was about to go to sleep. I said, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna make this video. I'm gonna share with you guys. So that's mostly it. I might be forgetting something, but those are the main things. And so I didn't make this video so that you have to copy me. Like, don't wake up at 2:40. Like, it's psychotic. I fully get that. 5 a.m. is plenty for most people. You don't have to be up early. You can definitely sleep in. And there's this rule called Parkinson's Law, where if you give yourself 2 hours to work out, your workout will take 2 hours. If you give yourself 45 minutes to work out, your workout will take 45 minutes. So that is that. I just do it because I just like making my day a bit harder than other people. It makes me feel better about myself. Maybe I'm weird, but that's the way I do it. It's all about how do I feel. Do I feel better when I sleep in, when I eat like shit, when I don't go to the gym, when I drink beers and smoke weed and like watch pornog and crank down all night, Do I feel better when I'm doing that? When I'm not making content, when I'm not connecting with people, when I'm not making sales every single day? Do I feel better? And do I make more money when I do that? Do I get in better shape when I do that? The answer to that is all no. So I just do the stuff that gets me in alignment with my vision, which is to become the best version of myself that I can possibly be in my mind. The most jacked, the most rich, the most everything, right? And so hopefully this helps. That's a lot. That's all there is to it. I am going to put together a small group of people. If you want help dialing in your personal development routines, you want to work with me in kind of like a small group setting, it's not going to be crazy high ticket. It's not going to be thousands and thousands of dollars to work with me. If you're interested, shoot me a DM on Instagram, Ben W. Byrne. Just say personal development, and I'll give you the details. It's pretty simple. I can tell you right now, it's going to be $297 per month, $750 for 3, $1250 for 6, or $2K for the year. So I'll give you a bit of a discount the longer commitment you do. But anyway, I'm basically helping you dial in all these different areas for you. So get in better shape, fix your mind, get your mind right, your money right, your waist tight. That's my buddy Gas Money would say. Anyway, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. And if you like these personal development type of videos, let me know. If you just want sales stuff, let me know. I'm happy to share whatever is valuable to you. And with that said, thanks for watching.